Runescape's Christmas event is back and it's better. Grab your cup of hot chocolate milk, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Runescape's Christmas Village event is located in its very own hotspot you can access using the Lodestone teleportation system. For the busy ones amongst you, don't worry if you're not able to play today or this week, as this event is going to be accessible for over a month until January the 4th. So you'll have plenty of time to collect all the cosmetic goodies. This year's brand new quest is called Cold Front and can be started by speaking to the Queen of Snow. Now it's worth noting that you can still complete the older seasonal quests called A Christmas Reunion and It's Snow Bother. I recommend doing this if you want to get full access to all Christmas activities, which I'll also be covering in this video, as some of them are locked behind the older quests. I cover both of them in my 2024 event guide, which I'll link down in the description below, but for this guide, I'm going to be covering the 2025 seasonal quest called Cold Front. To start the quest, speak to the Queen of Snow found on the western side of Christmas Village. Upon entering the quest instance, speak to the Queen of Snow again to initiate a conversation. In this conversation, you can pick any options you want twice until you get the prompt to accept the quest. This is where you'll notice the only required items for this quest are 25 regular coal ores. I suggest buying these on the Grand Exchange if you're a main game player. But don't worry, you don't need to get them now, you can get them later in the quest. While progressing through the conversation with the head snow imp and the Queen of Snow, you'll get another set of chat options. In this case, I picked chat option 2, but I don't think it matters. Next, the Queen of Snow will spawn or summon 3 types of snowmen: a mage, a ranger, and a warrior. You're going to want to click on them and inspect all of their body parts. Be warned, there's a couple of cheesy jokes in the dialogue. After having inspected all 3 snowmen, go back and speak to the Queen. Next, you'll use an eternal locus of evaluation to analyze the 3 snowmen one by one. Right-click and use it in your inventory, then use it on the snowmen. This will also prompt some funny dialogue. After having analyzed all 3 snowmen, go back and speak to the Queen. You'll now get a set of chat options where it does matter which one you pick. You'll need to choose option 1, Delegate, to progress the quest. The next part of the quest, the Queen asks you to get 2 perfect branches, 5 perfect coal, and a single perfect carrot. Let's start off with the perfect branches, because these are the easiest. Chop these fir trees until you get 5 branches, and then you can combine them into a single perfect branch. So in total, you'll need to collect 10 regular branches. Next, to get the perfect carrot, you're going to need to collect 20 carrots from the bucket of carrots to the southern side of the lodge. Then, proceed to use the chisel on the carrots to create your perfect carrot. Finally, you'll need to create 5 perfect coal by using 25 regular coal ore on the chisel. Each perfect coal requires 5 regular coal ore. Once you've collected all of these items, go back and speak to the Queen of Snow. Upon finishing the conversation with the Queen of Snow, you'll enter a sort of activity that you can't exactly spacebar. You need to pay a little bit of attention here. So what you're going to do is you're going to need to create 3 snowballs. These can be created by literally just pushing these piles of snow until they get to a certain size. But the catch is you need to create the exact size, otherwise you'll fail the task and need to do it again. My recommendation is to get whatever snowball you're making to around the Queen of Snow and then push it back and forth 1 tile away from the tile until it's nearly the exact size you need. Left, right, left, right, left, right. And you can break it down in between if you think it's going to get too large. The first snowball is a large snowball, so make sure you press or push a slightly large snowball onto the tile. You'll then get some conversation. I chose option 1, I don't think it matters. The second snowball needs to be an enormous size, and as such, the final push needs to happen when your snowball is at the very large snowball stage, as seen on video. By the way, if you ever get stuck doing the quest where it says your path is blocked or something of the sort, you can relog and it will start you off at the exact snowball you were making. Finally, the third and final snowball request is to create a head, and you'll do that by creating an average snowball, and as such, you'll need to push the snowball onto the tile when it's below average size, so that it's average size once positioned. Once this is done, the snowload will spawn and you'll be presented with a bit of dialogue where the chat options definitely do matter, as you're going to need to take it down. Choose option 3, then option 1, followed by option 4, and finally another option 1. You'll get another set of chat options after, where I chose option 3 as I'm ready for my rewards and you probably are as well. That's the end of the quest. Congratulations. The rewards include Snowman Slippers and the Snowman title, some XP lamps, Christmas Spirit, and treasure hunter keys. It will also give you access to the Snowman combat activity inside the Christmas village. Now let's cover the event's activities, starting with snowball making, which has no requirements and provides you some fletching experience. This one's incredibly AFK and you'll gain slightly over 2,000 Christmas spirit per hour from this activity. Pro tip: disassemble the snowballs you don't use for some juicy invention components. Next up, ice fishing. Gain Christmas spirit while fishing until your inventory is full. Once full, deposit those fishy boys into the barrel for a chunk of extra Christmas spirit. This activity seems to have been buffed a little bit over last year, as you can now gain over 3,300 spirit per hour. If you're feeling some woodcutting, go ahead and chop those fir trees to the east. The process is a little bit different. Fill up your inventory with logs, split those logs, and then finally throw them onto the pile. Unfortunately, despite having extra steps, it does seem like it's slightly lower spirit per hour at around 3,100. The next 3 activities require the A Christmas Reunion quest from last year, and if you're interested in a guide, check my 2024 guide linked in the description below. The first activity unlocked after completing this quest is cooking hot chocolate, which, while it is lower spirit per hour than snowball making, at 1750 per hour, it does provide you with cooking experience. However, if you decide to not AFK and to pay attention, you can easily gain more than double the amount of spirit per hour by simply interacting with the ingredients that glow with bubbles every now and then. You click on them and then place them in the pot. The choice is yours. Decoration making provides you with construction experience and is fairly AFK, although slightly less AFK than the previous activities. Fill your inventory with unfinished decorations, click the decoration bench, and AFK for 2.5 minutes per decoration. Unfortunately, for every decoration that is fully completed, indicated by the blue bar above your head, you do need to click the decoration bench again. For every finished decoration or all at once, you can also click to deposit them and get 100 spirit per completed decoration. This is in addition to the Christmas spirit you gained while creating the decoration, and this is roughly 3,600 Christmas spirit per hour in total. Creating toys or crafting toys is the best activity this year, just like it was last year, at 5,250 Christmas spirit per hour. Make sure you empty your inventory, grab from this creative wood, and then start crafting the parts. Create those parts on the carving bench, then paint them on the painting bench, and then finally assemble them on the assembly bench. Hand them in at the Mave NPC next to the assembly bench to gain your chunk of Christmas spirit from this activity. It's worth noting that the most AFK-able part of creating these toys is on the first bench, the carving bench, as that takes the most amount of time. If you've completed this year's seasonal Christmas quest called Cold Front, you can also pelt or kill the Snow Rangers, Mages, and Warriors. The amount of Christmas spirit you gain will depend very much on how many AoE abilities you have. Aggression potions, aggression sigils, they all work here. With Revolution, you can AFK these, but personally, I would just stick to the skilling activities unless you really want to do combat here. One combat activity that is definitely worth doing every hour, or every 45 minutes to the hour I should say, is the Snowverload boss. All you'll need is a couple snowballs which you can grab nearby in the arena, and you need to pelt it to its death. Yes, this thing does have some mechanics, but it's kind of like Claudia from the beach, really straightforward, and you can ignore the mechanics, especially in a populated world. Killing the Snowverload, which will take less than 5 minutes, will reward you with 500 Christmas spirit, some Christmas food loot, and a rare chance of receiving the Snowverload itself as a boss pet, which is fantastic. I love that Jagex have added this. It's kind of like Claudia from the beach, like I said earlier. Personally, as a pet collector, this is definitely something I want. Now, what can you do with all that Christmas spirit? Well, you can buy, amongst other things, pets, old Christmas cosmetics, Christmas emotes, outfits, all kinds of stuff from the store located right here in the center of Christmas Village. Now, you might have noticed that in addition to Christmas spirit, you also have this currency at the top of your screen called Nice List entries. You gain one Nice List entry for every 3 letters you post to Santa. You can gain 1 letter every single day by participating in the Christmas Village activities. It's kind of like a passive. Your second letter can be obtained by speaking to Clementine outside of Santa's lodge, where you post the letters to the north of Christmas Village. Your third and final letter can be obtained by completing all of your daily challenges. Now, if you've missed any of these letters throughout the week, or you're not able to log in, don't worry, as you can buy them for Christmas Spirit, 400 each the day after. Okay, so I still haven't told you what these Nice List entries or nice points account for. Well, each of these entries gives you a spot in the weekly draw for the Black Party Hat. The more points, with a maximum of 7 per week, the better your odds of receiving that Black Party Hat. Every Sunday at 8 PM game time until 10 PM game time, Santa will arrive in the lodge and you can speak to him to collect your rewards. Prior to 8 PM game time, there's kind of like a presents drop party kind of thing. Don't expect too much of it, but it is kind of cool to see it live in person. I do have footage of this from last year's event, but I won't show you as to not spoil the event for those that want to be surprised. And now, in terms of rewards, other than the Black Party Hat, you're guaranteed to get a cosmetic reward every single week if you have at least 1 Nice List entry. This year will include different types of cozy pajamas and slippers, but you can even gain last year's fully recolorable scarves, winter hats, and the peppermint outfit. Definitely things you don't want to miss. Now, don't worry if you can't be online during the actual lodge event itself, you can still claim your rewards, including the Black Party Hat, post-event from this sledge near Santa's lodge. Did you know there's a giant present you can open on December the 25th until January the 4th with a special mystery drop? Last year, this was a special snowman loot beam. This year, well, we'll have to wait and see. Don't forget that you can use your festive aura now for a 50% XP boost. It does have a cap though. If you give the Secret Santa system 100,000 coins exactly, and you can do this every single day, you obtain a medium prismatic lamp. Super easy experience. Don't forget to log in every single day and claim your Advent Calendar reward, because if you do, after 15 consecutive days, you'll get a black yo-yo. And by the way, there's a day 0 if you go backwards as well. Finally, unfortunately, this is related to microtransactions and Treasure Hunter. Don't forget to hand in your wrapping paper, because the presents have a lot of loot this year, including a brand new yellow and blue Santa hat if you're extremely lucky. You probably won't obtain these rarer presents unless you're doing a lot of playing or you're buying keys, just to set your expectations. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.